And we have today sharing in our service Principal Kyle Chandler and Reverend Nathan Wentz. And I'm going to ask them to come at this time and give us more information about the school.
Good morning. I got gratitude in my heart. Thank you, Pastor Smith, Pastor Lane, for the invitation, for the welcome. Again, I'm Reverend Nathan Went. I'm the president of a new school for boys opening here in Bond Hill, Xavier Jesuit Academy. We're bringing high academic standard education, and we're trying to answer a call from the community in special concern with high-quality education options, especially for our young men. So we're trying to respond to that call. Education is a calling, and I'm trying to respond to it, Principal Chandler, trying to respond to it in the community. And what we're about is for our young men, who will be our students, is to discover God's love for them. Discover God's love for them. Take it in. Be nurtured by it. Be educated through it. And then finally respond. Respond to God's love. Know how much love I've received. How do I return it? How do I return it and give God the greater glory that God deserves? So, Xavier Jesuit Academy is located on the campus of the Church of the Resurrection on California Avenue, right off of Reading Road. We're renovating the old St. Agnes Catholic Elementary School into a beautiful, welcoming, contemporary education space. We're investing a lot of resources into doing that because our students deserve it, to have the best education possible, to have the technology available, to have the wraparound services that we know students need to be successful. We want all of our students to graduate, go to the best high school they can, college prep, go to college, gainful employment, change the trajectory of their lives, give more options. And we want to welcome families that an education like this would be out of reach. Those are the families we want to welcome. These are the young men that we want to welcome. And this is Principal Chandler. He's got a lot of experience in education, so if you wouldn't mind saying a few words.
Yeah, I'll be super brief. Just starting off with gratitude. Just sincerely grateful to Pastor Smith for the invitation. I think there's nothing more humbling than being invited into a man's home. And so thank you for the invitation, and thank you to all of you all for welcoming us here. I was really moved. I'll get into some of the logistics in a moment, but I think when Reverend Bray was opening us up with a reading from Romans, there was a word that just jumped out to me, and he was talking about sheep. And I think so often for our young black boys in particular, the world treats them like sheep that are being guided to slaughter. And I think the reality is they need to be taught that they are not sheep, yet they are the lions. And they need to recognize that they are not to be just of the world, that God put them on this earth for a very specific reason, for a very specific purpose. And so what we're talking about doing is talking about that purpose, that God-given purpose. And so we're able to have conversations that a lot of spaces can't have, that a lot of other schools can't have. Super fortunate, right? I grew up in a single-parent household in Detroit with a mother that every single Sunday we were up and we were out of that house and we were at praise and worship at 9 o'clock, probably going home at 9 p.m. at night. I'm sure you all don't do that here, but I know for me, those hours planted those seeds that ultimately 40 years later are bearing tremendous fruit that we're hoping to then pay forward into another generation. When people ask me what my vision and my goal is at Xavier Jesuit Academy, is to ultimately be educating my replacement. So the reality is the young men that we're educating will take on this school, but also the future. So our school is a little bit different. We have a longer school day, right? Our school day goes from 8 o'clock until 4:30. I know for some of the kids, they're like, Lord, can we walk out now? But for the parents, it's important to understand that it allows us to do the formation on a really comprehensive level. It allows us to engage these young men in a meaningful way, not just with core academics, but also with the enrichment, the community service, the culinary arts, the theology, the religion every single day, learning that I am a precious, a loving, I am the child of God, a wonderful, loving God that pours into me. Ultimately recognize that what I accomplish is not for me, but it's to glorify him and to celebrate what God gave me. So just quick, we have a table out in the vestibule so we can give you more details, but we do have a longer school day. We do have a longer school year. I'm excited. So this summer we have 2 weeks for our summer camp, and our 2 weeks is on Xavier University's campus. And so I think for a lot of our young men and even our families, although it's right down the street, we've never crossed that threshold of that university. Let's start speaking into our young people's greatness already. And so you'll start by walking on that campus and recognizing that there are countless opportunities that are available to you. And so we're starting with our first classes of 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade young men. And every year we'll add on until we're 3rd grade through 8th grade. There are only 15 students in each grade, which allows us to care for them in a really comprehensive way. It also allows us to pull the parents in a meaningful way too, because we are not going to do this alone. Amen? So again, we're grateful for it, and thank you.
Amen. Again, if you would like to get more information about the school, they will be out in the vestibule for our business expo.